Preventer. Occupational health and safety news for an active working life.
Hello, welcome to a new episode of the Preventer Occupational Safety Podcast. My name is Andrea Leipelt. I am a specialist in general and occupational medicine.
And I'm Dr. Ingo Max-Leipelt, also specialist in general and occupational medicine. In this podcast, we combine scientifically grounded knowledge with concrete recommendations for a healthy and safe working place.
Today's episode is about a recurring but often underestimated topic, summer. Specific, the effects of heat, UV radiation, travel, and altered work rhythms on our health, both personally and professionally.
We will cover how heat stress develops, the importance of hydration, UV protection, and sleep rhythms, and why so-called post-holiday symptoms are more than just imagination. We also discuss travel medicine, useful vaccinations, and how companies can better support their staff during the summer.
We draw on current scientific studies, recommendations from statutory accident insurance, and findings from behavioral medicine. And we provide practical tips for everyday work life, prevention, and leadership.
This episode is relevant for anyone who bears responsibility for teams' personal health or workplace prevention. And of course, for everyone who wants to enjoy the summer without health risks.
We're glad you're with us. Subscribe to our podcast for regular, evidence-based content on occupational safety, health promotion, and modern prevention.
And now, enjoy the episode.
Summer isn't just warm. It wants to warm us. In our hearts, in how we see ourselves, and in how we treat each other. Let's pause for a moment before talking about UV protection, FSME vaccination, or how much we should drink. Because this summer that's just beginning is more than a climatic phase. It's an impulse, an invitation that asks, how well do you care for yourself? How mindfully do you treat your limits and those of others? We are invited to go through these months with a little more awareness, and that applies especially to the workplace. Let's take 3 perspectives.
First, mindful in summer, when the sun becomes a test. When it gets hot, we push our bodies to the limit, often without realizing it, but the body doesn't scream, it whispers. Circulatory problems, lack of concentration, sunstroke, dehydration, these don't happen suddenly, but gradually. So, mindfulness starts with hydration. 2 to 3 liters a day, preferably more, and not only when we are thirsty. Clothing, shade, sunscreen, breaks. These aren't signs of weakness. These are signs of self-respect. And what applies to us also applies to our colleagues. Those working outdoors, under time pressure, or doing heavy lifting need support. Good organization, shady spots, flexible hours, and a team that look out for each other.
Travel with responsibility in your luggage. Whether vacation or business trip, travel is always a health issue. It's not just about a vaccination certificate, it's an attitude. I take responsibility for myself and for others. FSME vaccine for southern Germany, yellow fever for South America, malaria prophylaxis for Africa. Yes, it's effort, but it's also respect for life. A solid travel pharmacy, Tick checks, food hygiene, and insect repellent are not trivial, they're our silent helpers. And for companies, that means inform, enable, prepare. A checklist, a tropical medicine contact, a short briefing, all these strengthen not only health but also trust.
And third, returning from vacation, not into stress, but into connection. Getting back to work after vacation is often sobering. It's called post-holiday syndrome, but there's a deeper truth. Recovery doesn't end when our suitcase is unpacked. It ends when you are rushing again. So schedule 2 buffer days after your vacation. Don't let the weekend become a cram session for your to-do list. And at work, let's allow a gentle return. Fewer meetings, more clarity. A team welcome back. A handover protocol, small steps instead of immediate overwhelm. And bring something from vacation, not just photos, but rituals. Maybe a lunchtime walk or a breakfast without haste. That extends recovery and strengthens resilience.
Summer is a time to live, not just to perform. Finally, summer is not the time to catch up on everything we missed during the year. It's a time to ask, what do I really need? Physically, emotionally, relationally. More movement? Yes, but not in the midday heat. A barbecue? Of course, but with water instead of beer in the sun. Long evenings? Sure, but not with Netflix until 2 a.m. when the alarm rings at 7. And that's not abstinence, that's self-care, and maybe even a model for others.
What's this final thought? Summer is not a project, it's a gift. A gift we can accept or ignore. If we learn to treat the sun, our bodies, and our work rhythms mindfully, we gain more than health. We grow into something that can carry into the whole year. A mindful, vibrant, caring life. Honestly, Andrea, I've already survived the summer and it's only June. If this continues, I'm ordering my own personal cloud on Amazon. Category: rain when I want and constant 22 degrees Celsius.
You and your drama. You forget that summer isn't your enemy, just demanding, like a grumpy boss. Ignore him and you get in trouble. Circulatory collapse, sunburn, heat stroke. Take your pick.
Thanks for that. I've already had 3 glasses of water today. Well, 2. And an espresso and a tiny sip of Diet Coke.
Ingo, that doesn't count. Coke dehydrates you. Espresso get your circulation dancing. And trust me, it doesn't want to dance at 32 degrees Celsius. 2 to 3 liters of water, my dear. Think of it as your private internal air conditioner.
But if I drink that much, I'll be in the bathroom all the time. Soon the whole stuff will only know me as the guy with the bladder.
Then be the guy with the functional circulation. Seriously, dehydration isn't a fashion faux pas. It's a real risk, especially for older employees. And yes, that includes you.
Ouch. Speaking of risk, I had an incident recently. Thought I had a pimple on my leg. Turned out to be an ambitious tick.
Welcome to the FSME zones, and you get Lyme disease free of charge. Ticks are natural little ninjas. You don't see them, you don't feel them, and 3 days later you're on antibiotics.
So what now? Wrap myself in mosquito netting like a vacuum pack?
No, light, long clothing, tuck your socks over your pants, use stick spray. And check your body thoroughly in the evening, even the spots you usually ignore, or at least rarely see.
I'm realizing summer is like an exam. Come unprepared and you fail. And instead of math, you get sunburn.
Exactly. And sunburn isn't harmless. UV rays are like a silent killer with a charming smile. First, your skin turns red, then it peels. 10 years later, the dermatologist show up with a serious face.
I always thought a 10 meant you were healthy.
A 10 is your skin's SOS signal. I just experienced trauma, but at least I look good.
I will write that on a sign and hang it over my sun lounger. But tell me, what about travel? I'm flying to Tuscany next week. Do I need a vaccination consult?
If it's just Tuscany, relax. But for tropical or subtropical regions, business or pleasure, check your vaccination status. FSME, hepatitis A and B, maybe yellow fever, typhoid, or malaria, depending on your destination. And do it 6 weeks before the trip, not 2 days.
You are saying I should take my travel pharmacy seriously, not just ibuprofen and the chocolate for homesickness?
Exactly. Painkillers, electrolytes, antidiarrheals, insect repellent, plasters, disinfectant, and if you're traveling alone, emergency malaria meds. In some areas, a good pharmacy beats a good sense of adventure.
And when I return, will 2 days of sleep and an espresso get me back into work mode?
If only. That's called post-holiday syndrome. Your body says, I was just at the beach. And your boss says, here's your to-do list. Better to ease back in, buffer time, no full calendars on day one, and preserve the holiday feeling. Maybe not the mojito, but the morning walk.
Or just plan the next vacation?
Definitely. A bit of anticipation never hurt anyone. And smart people spread their vacation days throughout the year, instead of burning everything in August, like their nose tips.
I admit it. You are the voice of reason in summer of all seasons.
And you're the voice of chaos, with a sunburnt nose. And hey, we make a good team.
Should we record this dialogue as a podcast? Title: Two Doctors One Summer and Lots of Insect Spray.
I'm in, but only if you apply sunscreen first, without complaining.
Promise. I'll even use the one with coconut scent. And I won't move once it's over 30 degrees Celsius, unless for iced coffee.
Or for a patient with heat stroke. Then you're allowed, but bring cold compresses.
Deal. And what about the company summer party? Any safety tips?
Of course. No alcohol in direct sunlight, plenty of water, shady spots, and ideally a first aid station nearby. If you party, do it smart.
I suggest a non-alcoholic cocktail ranking. Points systems bonus for hydration.
And the team with the fewest sunburns wins a bottle of after sun lotion.
If he keeps this up, summer might actually seem charming.
Summer is wonderful if you take it seriously. Like a good wine. Enjoy it, don't overdo it.
Or like a marriage. Lots of joy with good preparation.
And a strong immune system.
And things for sure. Summer's no walk in the park. unless you bring water, bug spray, and sunscreen.
And a bit of humor. I don't protect you from UV rays, but it'll save you from a bad mood.
Here's to health, heat, and you, my wise wife, in a sun hat.
And to you, my sweetie husband on a mission. Survive summer with a style and grace. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was today's episode on summer travel and occupational safety. We discussed how heat, UV radiation, and changing work conditions affect us, physically and mentally, and how we can protect ourselves.
We explained why hydration and UV protection are essential, which travel medicine precautions matter, and what employees and employers alike can do to keep summer healthy and productive.
We also focused on the return from vacation, how to transition smoothly back to work, how routines, buffer times, and conscious recovery prevent burnout and preserve motivation.
If there's only one thing to take away from this episode, it's this. Summer health isn't luck. It's a result of knowledge, awareness, and responsibility for ourselves and each other.
If you enjoyed this episode or got new insights, please rate us on your podcast platform. Share it with colleagues, and if you have questions or topic ideas, feel free to write us. Thanks for listening. Stay mindful, stay healthy, stay safe.
And remember, occupational safety doesn't start at the factory gate. It starts with your first glass of water in the morning.
Until next time on the Preventer Occupational Safety Podcast. Yours, Andrea Leipelt.
See you. Yours, Ingo Max Leipelt.